What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Wolfpack Way. We have Adam Gillespie. He has been on the channel before, but this is the first time he's been on this Wolfpack Way with all this fancy graphics around. But while you're here, obviously, we'll simultaneously put this over on the podcast. Make sure that you're liking, commenting, sharing this with an agent that might need it. Adam is an absolute beast when it comes to CRMs. It was Lofty is his kind of forte, but he has experience in all of them. But more importantly, AI. And this is something that he teaches me about every single day. And so instead of me talking about AI, kind of trying to, put together what he's done, I'm going to just bring the man himself to you. We'll put all of his contact information below. He is a partner of mine. So if you join him at any point in time in the Wolfpack, you get access to all of my stuff and so on, including his. So we're going to roll, but thanks so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share it out. But let's get right into this. And Adam, the major thing that you have said to change my kind of trajectory and idea on AI was what you said on stage at the Atlas Alliance Summit about, AI replacing agents. So let's just start there. What's kind of the quote that now everybody seems to say, but the first person I heard say it was you?
No, it's that, AI is not necessarily going to replace your job right now as an agent just because of the way the market is. So, or not the way the market is, sorry, but the way the human element and the subjectiveness of our industry. But what I tell people is like, AI is not going to replace you as an agent, but an agent using AI will. Right. And that's just because there's so much compounded time savings and the equalization is what I call it. Like, it's like the great equalizer, right? Like now we can market with the best of them. We can write the best copy. We can create the best presentations. We can just utilize this technology in such a way that just levels up our professionalism and our ability to get, the message out properly to people. And that with the compounded time savings equals some pretty massive success, man. So get on, right?
and it's crazy because I've heard that said on podcasts by people that have millions and millions of downloads all across the board. But truly the first time I heard it was when you said it on stage. So I don't know if they took it. I don't know if that was simulcast across the world, but I'm giving you credit. I don't care. In the quotes and stuff like that, it's Adam Gillespie, the AI guy. So
Adam Gillespie. I don't think I coined it. I probably heard it somewhere else.
No way. No way.
Hey, yeah. I mean, I will agree that everybody's starting to say it now. And I honestly wondered a little bit myself. I'm like, was there that many people at that event?
Well, that's awesome. And so let's kind of unpack that though, because you say that and people are like AI, right? Well, let's kind of first say that AI is not ChatGPT only.
No.
Right. And can we say GPT? Like, I don't know why, but people cannot get that right. Like, it's a brand. Let's start respecting the brand. GPT, not GTP, not GBT, GPT. Anyways, just throwing that out there. But let's unpack that a little bit, because I was listening to the Ed Milet podcast the other day, and they were talking about the chip that they're releasing and AI, and they really broke it down. They were like, look, like in the person-to-person interactions, AI is a long way away. We're a long way from robot world, yes. Doing all the things, operating independently, all of that. Mm-hmm. But talk about your compounding time savings a little bit as we kind of get into this.
Yeah. So basically, think of it like compounded interest in the stock market, right? The more you invest and the more that you keep getting those gains, that interest compounds over time with the volume of your money, right? So same thing here with compounded time savings is that we're taking all of these little things that you do inside your job multiple times a week or even multiple times a day, and we're simplifying that process or even fully automating that process by the use of AI. And as you start to do this and you figure out, oh, well, it'll work on this and it'll work on that, like, hey, I can now write a blog and literally 3 minutes have it posted on all my socials, when something like that would have taken us a very long time. It took even longer to do that when I would take the blog from Keeping Current Matters and post it on my thing. You know what I mean? Like, and now we can create these customized, one of a kind pieces of work. And like I said, you do it on that. And then next thing you know, you've got your AI clone that's responding to your emails and all of this other stuff. Then you no longer have to sit there and put that brain power into thinking how you want to respond. You can just treat it more like an assistant and say, oh yeah, agree to that. Tell them Thursday at 7 works, blah. And then you can leave the AI to the task of typing it and sending it. And it just, like I said, the more stuff that you start adding on to it, the more things you don't have to do every day. And now you can do what's important, which is get that time back and spend it with your family or go out and find more clients.
Right. And be more present, right, with your clients.
Absolutely.
I know that as agents, we think we have a lot of superpowers and we're the only ones that can do a lot of things. But at this stage of the game, so many people are exactly kind of where you went there, right? It can do my blog. It can help me with my content. It can help me with this. So it's very task oriented. Mm-hmm. But as they were talking, and as you've alluded to, the agentic AI stuff that is a lot closer than the robot takeover piece. Tell us a little bit how that would actually look, because I think there's an entire generation, not age specific, but a generation of real estate agents that are like, social media is this, either you crush it or you don't. And so the content creation piece, the blog piece, maybe they don't have a website. They send their clients to Zillow, unfortunately, don't do that. But tell us a little bit about that agentic piece, because no matter what agent that real estate agent that we're dealing with, there's a piece of it that has to answer emails, has to do contract deadlines, has to do these things. So tell us how that's going to kind of change the game and really save us some time.
Yeah, so basically we've just taken the next step towards artificial general intelligence. And this is why we're starting to hear all of these things about agentic workflows, agentic AI, or even AI agents, right? So if we go all the way back to the beginning, the very first level so we have 5 levels that we have to achieve until we can, by definition, be at artificial general intelligence, where we have sentient robots that can think and feel and learn and don't need humans to continue to grow, right? So the first stage was chatbots, right? And that's what we saw in 2015 and even earlier than that, where we had all of a sudden chatbots showed up on everybody's website, right? That was that first level. Okay. And then we hit reasoners, right? And now this is what we just recently saw. So obviously generative technology, generative intelligence technology got better and better and better from 2015 up. We saw ChatGPT 4 come out in 2022 or early 2023. And we started seeing these major steps forward, right? But eventually we hit this block where it's like, okay, this is fully trained. Now we needed something with more of a human chain of thought process or reasoning capability. All right. So that's where we go to stage 2, which is reasoners. And we saw that kind of hit mid last year, and it's really, really popular now. We see it with the O1 model. We see it with the O3 model. We even have, reasoning capabilities inside of Google Gemini and stuff like that. But now all of a sudden, everybody starts hearing agents, right? So what are agents? Well, first and foremost, it's going to be the third step towards AGI, but agentic workflow is basically the AI now having the capability to perform functions on your computer that would typically have needed human involvement by, navigating a mouse, clicking, signing into a website, navigating through that website, etc. Right? So let me just break it down super simple for those of you that are like, I'm super lost right now. If I sent ChatGPT to a website, it can see what's on the actual web address that I sent it, but it can't navigate through the different menus of the website and pull out all of that information, right? We would have to manually go and do that by clicking to the next screen and seeing what data pulls up on that. Agents or agentic AI it can do this for us. We just have to train it the first time, right? So we see this now in OpenAI's operators, which you can only access if you have that pro subscription at $200 a month. But we can tell the operator to perform these functions. So now it's automated even further to the point to where, we could potentially monitor contract software and see when the contract's fully executed, and then take that information from that contract, like the dates and deadlines, and feed that into ChatGPT and say, oh, here's all the dates and deadlines. Create me email correspondences that's going to go with each one of those deadlines to make sure that our client's aware, and even our TCs or our vendors or whoever might be involved in the process. We can have all of that automatically created, sent to us for approval. When we approve it, then it can go ahead and finish off the rest of the task by adding that inside of our CRM and then emailing it to the specific client. So it starts to take our hands-on requirement off, right? So if I could have somebody do that, then, I don't have to do that myself when I get home from a showing, or I can spend that time, like you said, being more present for our clients.
Right. And that's the biggest piece, like, that I see, is kind of these assistant roles and those kind of things. Like, that's where I think the big time job replacement is going to come, versus like the agent, the educated, whatever, coder, all the things. We don't have to go down the rabbit hole.
So let's dive into that for a second too, because I think there's a lot of fear in the market. And dude, the reality is that jobs are going to be affected by this. I don't want to tell people like, hey, nothing's ever going to happen to real estate. It's going to be an augmented situation where it's us and the AI, which I believe is going to be the case for a while. But there is going to come a day when, these jobs are being affected. We already see it in the tech industry. We see mid-level coders and Meta are no longer being hired because they've got AI to be able to do that for them. So we can see that there probably will be roles that are affected, but just like when the market shifts and it affects our career, right? We've experienced this with so many different things, including COVID, to discount brokerages, to now NAR changes. We have to consistently pivot. So my advice to those out there, like if you're a VA or if you're a transaction coordinator or if you're a accountant, just know that if you learn how to utilize this stuff at a much quicker rate than everybody else, then you can be the one that facilitates it and still keeps your position, because there's still going to need to be operators for the time being. But for me to say like, hey, it's not going to take your job, like that's, full disclosure, it very well could replace us one of these days. But like you were probably hearing on the Ed Milet podcast, like if you guys follow the tech industry and you see like where robotics is, and that's what's really going to need to be, is robotics and standardization of pricing. And this is why I think this is my full belief of why humans will need to be in real estate for a very long time, is that it costs a different amount in Massachusetts to replace a kitchen than it does in California to replace a kitchen. And we don't know what type of upgrades they're going to be using and what type of finishes they're going to be using. And that all carries a different value. And this is where the human subjectiveness comes in. And until that can be mastered by AI, like, we're needed desperately into this. And there's also the, psychological aspect of the transaction where we're, dealing with our clients and being there for our clients in more ways than just, hey, do this and don't do this. Like, we're there as, counselors, man. We're there as a major resource. So I think that there's still a lot of security in the real estate industry for now, but some other industries that's definitely chipping at the heels. And you just need to pivot, learn the technology so you can be the operator or the mechanic of it.
Right. And I mean, think about, as a transaction coordinator, if you're using AI, the amount of transactions that you can do in addition to what you're already doing.
Yep.
And you're still going to have agents that, I don't care what age you are. I know some of the smartest tech people I know are older than me. Mm-hmm. And there's also people that absolutely hate tech that are younger than me. So I don't care what age you are. As real estate agents, there's always going to be that piece of, I just need you to handle this. I don't want to learn how to train my, agentic AI to be my transaction coordinator. So I'm going to continue paying you this amount every single transaction that goes up as we, all the things go up. And so that's kind of where that's at.
And there's
utilizing it and making your job easier.
100%. There's a potential for capitalization on that. Now, if I was a TC, I would be learning agentic AI very quickly. I'd be, inside Agent Prompt University and inside Apex Elite AI, because I'd be trying to figure out how I can utilize this, because if I can do more volume in less time as a transaction coordinator, then I'm going to capitalize majorly on this. And there's going to be two types of people, right? There's going to be the agents and the TCs and the people that are like, oh, AI is going to take our jobs someday, so I hate AI and I don't want anything to do with AI. And we kind of saw this at the last event that we went to, as I'm pushing AI at people. And a lot of people were shrugging their shoulders like, I'm really not interested in it. And it's like, there were farmers that weren't interested in tractors too, and there were people who wanted to use a typewriter instead of a computer. And we all know how that ended up, right? Like, and I don't want to be super blunt about it like that, but it's at the end of the day, it's like, if you choose to learn it, and right now, while it's all augmented, you can capitalize that and you can 10x your income with half the amount of effort, because you took a little bit of time to learn this very easy to understand and learn technology. Now you can potentially build your entire retirement. So in the day that it does come where AI actually takes our job, you've got a nice little nest egg that you were able to build in 10 times less time, because you had compounded time savings by the use of AI, right?
Not to mention get a whole nother entire career in years out of consulting people on how to use it.
Heck yeah.
Right?
I mean, you're looking at it right here, dude.
I think we're a long way from robotics taking over our job as real estate agents for a costly amount, cost-effective amount at least. And I hope I'm not selling houses that long. So let's kind of transition a little bit into kind of the top tools, because what I see is there's all these new AI tools, right? But then, like, when you ask me, like, what's the back end, it's always ChatGPT or Gemini or, something else. Like, there's three major things, and all these tools are incorporated. So there's so many like products and subscriptions and memberships coming out that agents can use, right? From Brownie Box to all the others. What are we're going to go with the top 5 things. And I don't want you to I want you to give a quick summary. I don't want this to last a long time. If he says something that you want to know more about, all of his contact information, I'll ask him at the end where you can connect with him, but it's all posted below. But let's just give, kind of a rapid fire top 5 tools that real estate agents should be looking into, knowing about, and getting familiar with to kind of start saving some of their time and going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, for images and presentations, it's going to be Gamma.app. This is hands down app of the year 2025. I'm just going to call it now right here in February 28th. Like, this is the best app that will ever come into your business. So check out Gamma app. And like I said, that's for images, image generation and presentations. When it comes to strategy, I really, really was impressed with the DeepSeek model. Now, I know there's a lot of China talk around that model. So I would recommend Perplexity as the number 2 app, because Perplexity has actually been able to implement lots of different reasoning and large language models inside of its platform. And you can use those safely, knowing that your data stays here within the United States of America and doesn't go overseas. So if you need strategy, project management, then check out the reasoning models inside of Perplexity. ChatGPT for projects and research. They just dropped deep research available for Plus users. You're very limited on how much you can do, but this is like combing the entire web on any given subject. So when it comes to market updates and stuff like that, where we're looking at hard data, we can get it much better, more accurately through deep research with apps like ChatGPT. And then for video generation, it's going to be Hailuo. That's HAILUO. This is an app that can take images that are still images, and then you can turn them into motion with video. And this is great when it comes to making your listing photos come to life. So you can put little not property tours so much, but B-roll for advertising that, right? Where you can kind of zoom in on the house or take a drone view out. So there's so many really cool things. And then when it comes to content creation, one of my favorite apps right now for shorts, because you guys know editing sucks. It's hard to do unless you're an editor or you can pay for one. So check out Captions. This is for all of your shorts needs. It can automatically use AI to help edit your short videos. So that's my top 5, man.
All right. Well, that's cool. And I think that it's super important to kind of, for people that are doing short form, they grab onto that. For people that are, really researching the market, they grab onto ChatGPT, like you mentioned, and all the things.
Yep.
And so as we go, and I'm going to just kind of say this, just like when we're hiring VAs, just like when we're hiring assistants, just like when we're hiring TCs, the key to your success as an agent is take that, train them. And once you have that time back, you have to put it and remember what you were trying to free up, right? So put your time back into income producing activities, places that, a VA can't be or a TC can't be. Take your knowledge and fuse that back into your business. And, for some of us that are workaholics, infuse that in your family and those kind of things. But I think a lot of times we hire these assistants or AIs or whatever it is, and then we don't necessarily capture that time back. So that's super important and something that is ultra amazing about our group, because we have, myself talking about these lead generation things. I can say, hey, talk to Adam. He's going to help you figure it all out. And then once you have all that and you have the assistant or the AI rocking and rolling, then you have my sponsor, Louie, knocking on your door, talking about time management, making sure you're maximizing those workflow hours. So
yep.
Adam, as far as AI, clearly an absolutely amazing wealth of knowledge. Anything else you want to kind of add in before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I mean, just get on the train, guys. Like, don't be afraid of this stuff. It's coming whether you like it or not, right? So it's kind of like the elephant in the room, or the gorilla in the room, as they would say. Like, if you feed the gorilla long enough, you can spare yourself from getting eaten by it. And that's basically where we're at, dude. So instead of being afraid of it, jump on, learn how to use it, so that way you can become useful when this stuff really does start to take over. But we've got some time, guys. So just, if you got any questions, I can help put your mind at ease. I can help train you on this stuff. So, don't hesitate to reach out. Like Jeremy said, my contact info is all below. I'm more than happy to jam out, but we take a practical, non-theoretical approach to this, and you'll find out that you can 10x your business very quickly.
Absolutely. This dude's got free communities. He's got his YouTube channel. He's got it all. We'll link it below. Adam, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, man.
For those of you watching, reach out to Adam, like, comment, subscribe. If somebody is talking about AI in your office or needs, a little bit of inspiration and maybe clarity on AI, this is an absolutely amazing piece of content that we just created. So thanks so much, Adam.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.